I just got off a call today with one of my regular clients, and there's something that came up in the conversation that I really believe is going to help a lot of you. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm so excited to have you. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. On this channel, we talk about identity loss, moving towards an ego soul, integrated lifestyle, and rebuilding purpose back into our lives. If some of you are, let's say, on the tail end of your identity loss, and you're actually going towards a sense of wholeness again, you're feeling growth, maybe things are changing in your life. Maybe you have a girlfriend, maybe you have a new job, a new career, a new business you're starting, and you're feeling finally that after wandering the desert, aimless, in a state of chaos, but you've embraced that opportunity, that moment to actually be born again. However, there's something happening. There's this feeling of regression creeping in beneath the surface. You almost feel a voice again telling you, what are you doing? This is the wrong way, wrong path. Why are you moving in this direction? And it can be confusing. It can throw you off. It can make you second guess everything. And that's what our call was today. He's been working with me for a little while now, a little over 6 months. And if you have met him before and seen how far he's come, it is mind-blowing what's happened in 6 months in comparison to the last 5 years of his life. It's truly something beautiful. I'm very thankful I could be a part of it. But now we're running into a different challenge. The old complexes, the archetypal energy beneath him, the shadow realm, is creeping its voice again. One thing to note as you progress in life, as you make changes and you feel you're getting more aligned internally, what will start to happen is the very thing that caused the split from ego and soul will come back to test you. If you remember the talks I've had about complexes, which are emotional knots that contain trauma, memories, emotions that sit below the conscious awareness. So once it sits into the unconscious mind, if you've suppressed long enough, it can become repression. And once something is repressed, it starts to form itself into a bit of a personality. And understand that the aspects of you that you have rejected, denied, disowned are going to be going into that realm. And they sort of conglomerate together and form themselves into a bit of an entity within you. And this entity, if you ignore, leave it to its own devices, will hijack your ego every once in a while, make you say and do and think things that you otherwise would not say, think, or do. And as you move towards an ego death, identity loss, rebirth, there's a transition period happening. And that part of you from within is going to test to see if this is truly where you're going, because you have to remember that it's a protective mechanism. The way it protects, though, is it feels against you in some way, but if you remember, if it acts like a personality, it's going to try to protect itself. It's going to preserve the status quo. And so if it sees you progress and do all these things, the voice in your head is going to say, well, maybe this is just all fleeting. It's just going to go away. Or maybe this is just fantasy and I'm inflating what's actually happening. What really is happening is moments of just good feelings, but this is all going to just wash away. I don't deserve any of this, whatever the language is. And this was the way the conversation kind of went. And at the end of it, well, I should say in the middle of it, there was also a dream that he mentioned. He had a dream that he was locked out of his house. So he went to go in. It was nighttime. And he said he tried to open the door was locked. And he felt this imminent sense of doom, despair, panic, fear. And we tried to unpack it as much as we can. And if one thing to know about dreams are cryptic. They don't come to you in simple forms. Symbols can represent through people. People can represent memories. It could be quite complex to decipher. We didn't get to the bottom of it in one call, but we got pretty far. And one thing I was able to sort of piece together while talking with him about it is the home is a representation of the self to a degree. And he was locked out of that. So in some sense, there is this rejection that his complexes, his shadow is having with the direction he's moving. And so in some way it wants to lock him out, as if to say, well, I don't recognize you anymore. I'm not sure where you think you're going, but what you're doing right now is not conducive to what we have been doing for years. And at the same time, the doom and the fear is almost the byproduct of the shadow's way of saying, this is what's to come. This is what's going to be coming into your life. The fear, the anxiety, the panic. Don't you remember when we tried to do X, Y, and Z? You failed. And when you failed, what did you feel? You felt despair. You don't want that to happen again, do you? And it can be all confusing, and it can drain the energy from within you and makes you second guess everything. So the strategy that we had, the guy that we had today, and what I passed on to him was, this is something to contend with now. It's getting loud. You need to converse. And the way I do it is through inner dialogue work. When you do inner dialogue work, you have to first understand that what we're trying to do here is to clear all three channels: our future potential, our present moment, and the past shadow. What's happening to him in that moment and what's happening to some of you is, of course, when we start to derail from the center, things are changing in your life for the better. There's going to be a part of that shadow that tries to twist and make you look at it and say, look what's going to happen if you do this. You might fail. It's not going to work out. And then it tells you to look forward into the future, which then it warps and it dements what you see. Makes you see that, yeah, this might not work out, or this may not actually go the way it's planned. And it starts to derail you from the present. The idea is the integration mandorla is what I call it. The three-ring circle. I don't have my notes with me here. Give me a moment. I want to find it for you. I'm not sure if you guys can see it on the camera. But you see right here, you have your past, present, and your future. Future potential, past shadow, and of course the present day, present ego awareness. And then you have your intersection points. The one thing to understand with the intersection point is that is a sweet spot to be in. You have an awareness of where you're supposed to go in life, but you're not to be fixated on it, because once you fixate, you obsess, you can get stress, anxiety, and you just blink your days and you're not really living anymore. But you can also get consumed and stuck in your past, which then doesn't make you blink the days. It can make you feel days are eternity. It feels like forever, and you just want to disassociate from it, and you're just stuck in grief and regret and misery. And so what you want to do is stay in the present, of course, but you have a soft, gentle hand for the future. So you know where you're oriented towards, but you always are willing to shift and change if need be, while simultaneously keeping your hand in your shadow, so you always know what it's up to. This way there is a clear communication going back and forth, so then your past does not warp your future. And so the practice here is having that inner dialogue, communicating with this archetype, communicating with it, having a conversation as to what is it that it needs from you. You might have to encompass within you the king archetype, which is what? The king archetype contains the psyche, protects the land, grants blessings to its people, has a vision for the future. And so you have to initiate and bring in that archetypal energy and to say, I understand where you're frustrated, I understand where you're confused, and you want me to go back to the way things were, but you know how that was. We were not happy there. And I know you're trying to protect me, I know you're trying to take care of me, but instead I want you to come along with me. Don't drag me back to that place again. There's a better tomorrow, but I would like you to come with me. I don't want to reject you anymore. It's very important that you understand that the shadow part of you, it's all the rejected side that needs to come forward and be met with who you are now. Because you're the union of these things. You want to see yourself as the collective picture. And when you have that inner dialogue, at first you may not hear much. And I was telling my client today that the answer will not come to you in the way you think. It may come to you in a voice. It may come to you in pictures. It may come to you in a feeling. Often feelings, this is very subjective, but often feelings come in packed with information and knowledge that you can understand when you feel it. But you can't, it's very hard to explain to anybody, but I'm sure you know what I mean when I say that. So it might come to you in a feeling. It may come to you in somebody you're hanging out with. They'll say something that, unrelated. They don't know the subject you're going through, but they said something that hits you right into the belly of your soul. And you say, wow, that was synchronicity that just happened right now. It may come to you in all sorts of different ways. And what I always say is keep it open. You have to stay open and interpret what you can when it comes to you. If it feels like something you need to pay attention to, pay attention to it. It can come to you in dreams as well. I think that's what I paused for. I was trying to think of that one extra thing. So the dreams come to you in dreams as well. And so this video is a way to tell you, don't panic about that. Don't be too concerned about it. You don't want to ignore it. Don't let it run amok. Because remember, if you ignore the shadow, don't pay attention to the parts of you that you need to contend with, it will run amok and it's going to get stronger, and it's going to hijack your ego and totally warp your perspective and your view. You want to keep all three channels clear. Inner dialogue, journal it, separate it from yourself so you do not identify with what you're doing. You can observe it with curiosity, adventure, love, compassion, and a firm hand. Stay consistent. None of this happens overnight. So I was telling him as well, you want to be very patient. Give yourself that grace period. So do it 1% every single day. And if you don't attend to it, don't attack yourself. At the end of the day, when it comes to anything integration, anything self-discovery, finding that inner alignment, that peace, you have to tackle this without that judgment. You can be firm, hold yourself accountable, but you don't want to berate and bully yourself into it. It's not going to work. It may work temporarily, but you are now causing long-term side effects in the future. If this is something that you want to go deeper with in your life, in your own context, the situations you're going through, you can go ahead and book a call and book an integration call with me down below, and I'd be more than happy to share space with you and give you my guidance and mentorship and help you navigate through this period in your life. If you're not ready for a phone call just yet, or video call rather, that's totally fine. Click that second link below. It'll send you to my newsletter page where by signing up, I'm also going to send you my 3-step identity rebuilding guide. It's a toolkit you can use to navigate through this period of identity loss and moving towards an ego soul integrated lifestyle. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video.